Hi guys, my name is Zech from Woodlock, and I'm here to walk you guys through a couple of the tracks from this EP. I Loved You Then. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's the first EP that we've ever actually fully produced ourselves, and so I really wanted to sort of walk you through a lot of our decision making and sort of show you the behind the scenes of why it is that we did the things we did, and maybe you can get an insight into maybe some things that you would like to try out, or just get some inspiration. If that'd be really great. So I'll start off by saying that when we went about doing this, we wanted to make the songs feel very different from their originals. So things like we didn't want them to feel like somebody just strumming out and covering the song. We wanted it to feel like each of the songs were actually designed that way. Were designed to be played acoustically. And so when we were working on the songs, we tried to deliberately change a lot of things to make them feel fresh and new, and not like you were just listening to somebody, that's somebody playing it on an acoustic guitar, but sound like somebody had really put a lot of thought and time into it. And there are ways we did that in terms of composition and the instruments we chose and stuff like that, and we'll get into that later. But the first song that I want to talk to you guys about is a song called I Loved You Then. It's a really, really nice track. What we'll do is we'll have a listen to the track first, then I'll break it down and sort of walk you through the process that we went through to sort of come up with that sound. So I'll play it for you now. So here we go.
Out in the backyard, trying to find my way back in your arms. Find me up on a hill, 'cause I loved you then, and I love you still. Darling, I'm always there. I know it's been hard for my baby this year. When your heart breaks, mine's breaking too. 'Cause I loved you then, and I love you still. I'm right behind you and all that you do. And I spoke with God, he'll take care of you. So find me, stone on a hill, 'cause I loved you then, and I love you still. Mine's breaking too, 'cause I loved you then, and I love you still.
Yeah, it's a really nice song. I've always I really enjoyed it. It's funny, that song was around before we finished recording our Future of an End album, and it just didn't quite make the cut. But a while ago, my brother's dog Indy passed away, and all of a sudden the song took on this whole new meaning, and we really wanted to sort of get it out there and sort of almost like an ode, because she was a really fantastic dog, and she was really part of the family. It was really, really, it was definitely a sad moment. Anyway, I won't go too much into that. It's pretty straightforward, and I wanted to talk to you about the production side anyway. So one of the things that we started off by doing is obviously, acoustic EP, run everything through an acoustic guitar. And so recorded our acoustic guitar and we build everything around that point. But it always, for us, we either usually start with an acoustic guitar or a piano. And for this whole EP, it's pretty much all acoustic guitars. So we have like a couple of things. So, we have our basic acoustic guitar track, nothing major. We don't think too hard into... I feel like you don't want to overproduce things when you're doing things acoustically. They need to feel live and organic. So we didn't focus too hard on trying to make the take exactly perfect. We just wanted it to feel natural. So, I can play a little bit of it. And then we did a few other interesting things as well. So we've got like a bit of this acoustic guitar. And it's like really, really gentle, nothing overstrummed. It helps add to the intimacy. Now, with the drums on all the tracks in the EP, we used the same samples for everything running through. We recorded it during lockdown, so getting into a studio space to record drums wasn't going to work for us. So we used just a couple samples, and then that we really liked the sound of. And we tried to use the same set of drum samples across the board, and we did that so that everything felt in unison. Everything on the EP felt like it was from one take, one track, as opposed to trying to pull things from different stuff. Made life really hard in terms of the production process, but worth it in terms of how it came out. So we have the basic things, your kick, and then for a snare, we use the sounds of chains dropping. So we have a sound just here. Let me just find it for you. So... let me just solo it out here. So you can hear the chain. That's just the sound of chains dropping on the ground. Just really, really simple. When we do production, we try not to think of things as absolute rules, more like rules of thumb. And we like the sound of the chain. The sound of chains. It just gave something a little more less attacky and sort of rounded out the sound a wee bit more. So that was really, really cool. In terms of, I'll just go through the things that I think were really interesting in this song. So one of the things that, I love piano, absolutely love playing it. Most people do. I think, I'm a guitarist first, but I think that if you're wanting to get into music and wanting to be an all-round musician, piano is a great place to start because you can apply the rules across the board. So we start out, playing some really basic piano lines. So it's playing this riff and stuff like that, and it doesn't overcomplicate it too much. I find that I like, for this acoustic EP, just keeping everything really simple and keeping all your focus on what's being said and what's being spoken. And so in the production process, I find that if you over busy all the sounds around it, you take all the focus away from what's actually being said. And for me, lyrics are some of the most important parts of any song. This part of the piano right here is I was inspired by a song by Coldplay. I'm trying to remember the name of it now, but just that roll, I think it's called Rain of Love. It's on the end of a song. It's on the end of one of their songs from the Viva La Vida album. And I always really liked how they did this roll. And so I nabbed that idea and sort of used it for the song, and I think it adds this real lovely sort of honesty to it. So I'll play it again so you can have a listen. So in the context of the song, so I'll play it by itself and then bring in the song behind it so you can have a listen. So it just helps lift up that moment a little bit more. Creating interest in a song with so few elements, the way you play them suddenly makes a huge difference. In a big band setting, you can sit there and strum along and stop and start, and it's easy because there's lots of instruments to sort of bring in and out. But when you're using really few elements, I think for most of the songs we only use the bass, piano, guitar, and a drum, and even then, all of them are used fairly lightly. It means that we have to be very careful about how we chose to use different things, and dynamics became a really, really important part of the process of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a slide guitar in it, if you've heard that. The slide guitar is actually, it sounds like an electric. I was lazy, and I just picked up my acoustic guitar, plugged it in, and then just done a ton of EQing to it to make it sound like that. So that's this bad boy over here. I'll play it for you. So you know, and I'm a terrible slide guitarist, so I had to do each slide separately. I couldn't do the run in one entire run because I just was terrible at it. So it took me so many takes to get each run to sort of feel right and stuff like that. But you know, that's the fun of the recording process. It's really, really an interesting thing to do. Then I felt when we were recording it, and we had the most of the basics of the song together, you know, the bass and all that. I just felt like it needed a little something different from the rest of the songs, and so I asked my partner Carly if she could sing. After much, after a lot of persuading and and a new wardrobe for her, she would sing for us. And I think her vocals added this really, really beautiful sincerity and suddenly made it not feel so much like one person singing to nobody, but sounded, I felt like, because it was my brother and his partner's dog that passed away, and I felt like it really lent to this story of like two people really, really missing a part of their family. So I really, really liked how her voice sort of blended that in. So it's like over here. So I'll play it from the bridge.
I'm right behind you and all that you
Very, very
do.
faint. I'll turn her up.
And I spoke with God, he'll take care of you. So find me.
Yeah, just like this nice little underneath.
On a hill, 'cause I love
Nice little underneath sort of tone. And yeah, it just really added this honesty to the song. The goal was when I was producing this one, because I knew that the indie thing had happened, like I really wanted to make this song just feel honest and just feel sincere, you know, because like you can write a love song, you can write a song about missing someone, but sincerity is key. I think sincerity is key in any song. You know, you got to be sincere in what is it you're trying to say, and I think it's the role of a producer to help somebody express the sincerity of what it is that they're trying to say. You know, that's your job. All in all, I think we did a fantastic job, and Izzy's vocal, amazing as always. I would die to have a vocal like his. Yeah. So that's the song I Loved You Then. I really hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to make a move on to the next song now. So, yeah.